That is the song. Just a second. Touched my computer and it rebooted. So trying to get everything going on here. No, that's the wrong one. That one. There we go. Okay. And now let me, yep, Inception here happening. Okay. The double talking will stop in a second. Many apologies. There we go. 3. Okay. All right. So I think we're good now. What up, Sid? What up, Aslan? What up, MJ? What up, Jack? What up, Jules? What's your question, Jack? What up, Trey? Trey, I'm going to sing that song live. So if you haven't heard it, now you will. And I'm going to do a different I'm going to do acoustic guitar version of it. The version I did before, like, had other instruments in it. Okay, Jack, I'll get back to you. Too much dead air. What time is it? 9:20. No, wait a minute. Normally I get started about 30 minutes after the hour. So I think we're all good. Fortunately, Google realizes that it rebooted and will restore all of your tabs and such. But yeah, Trey, but I'll still take, even though I found one like that, I'll still take your version instead. So because this may get copyright flagged too, since it's actually something that is on YouTube. You see the vid about bricks, and what are your thoughts on it? Not really my thing. I'm in America, MJ. Doesn't really have anything to do with us. What's the major deal about it? $25 minutes off early. No look at Aldi's though. Worth the shot looking. We're contacted and he said there was an overpayment 5 to 6 months ago. So there will be 340 bloody quid less. Yep. So no money can go toward my emergency fund this month. Well, if they overpaid you before, I would just check your bank account and make sure that that is true. Yeah, up and coming nation supposedly. What about them though? Lots of development, sure, but what about it? Why is MJ so up on the video? Because she's a brick house. She's mighty, letting it all hang out. Okay, while we're waiting for MJ to say what's so fabulous about the video, this is Coach Steve Money. I am a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And for further content that is financial, you scroll down on the page. YouTube.com/Coach Steve Money. Answering your financial questions is the weekend stream. There will be no weekend stream this weekend. I will be busy moving, but should be fine for Tuesday's after show. Maybe even a quick Monday stream or a chat replacement stream on Monday. The Ramsey Show after show Tuesdays and Thursdays probably, at least through the month of October, depending on when I get a job and what hours those are. And the music playlist, which includes 11 Ramsey adjacent songs, including the one you are about to hear. Let's see, MJ still didn't say. Oh, George Camel video about it yesterday. Okay, no, I don't know what he said about it, so I have no idea because I did not see that. I did not even see that was on there at all. was on the YouTube. Grocery shop Sunday instead of waiting to be paid next week. Excellent. So you already got that done. Good job. Good job. Always good to spend money on stuff that you need ahead of time, because then you don't end up thinking you have more money to spend on things you don't need ahead of time. Alrighty, so the song in question is the very first Ramsey adjacent song that I wrote, and it is from the mind of Ed Sheeran and the song stylings of Justin Bieber. The Biebs changed it a little bit. And as I said, there's a brand new version of this than my normal version. Normal version usually has, like, I think little drums and other stuff in it as well. But this is just an acoustic guitar. And let's go. Sing along at home, will ya? Like all plans, it starts with step one. $1,000 emergency fund. Step two, you pay off all your debt. Except mortgage, we don't do that yet. So pay off your consumer debt. Every one of those charges, from smallest to largest. Baby step three is next. Full emergency fund of expensive. You stay gazelle intensive. His name is Dave Ramsey, and this is his plan. And I hope to meet him. I admire the man. I've messed up in my life, but these steps have made it right. That's why I coach, and why I host this YouTube show. If you don't like the way it's working out, you should do the baby steps. And if you want to have that financial peace, you should do Dave's baby steps. Now listen, step four is when you can take a breath and go, let's gazelle and invest. Step five is to save for your kids. No student loans at all for college. 6 is to pay off your home. Step 7, build your wealth and don't keep it all yourself. And you've lived like nobody else. And now you get to live large, and now you get to give large. His name is Dave Ramsey, and this is his plan. And I hope to meet him. I admire the man. I've messed up in my life, but these steps have made it right. That's why I coach, and why I host this YouTube show. If you don't like the way it's working out, you should do the baby steps. And if you want to have financial peace, you should do Dave's baby steps. Ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da, ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da-ba, live from Cabot, Arkansas. It's the Ramsey Show Aftershow show. Show where we talk about the Ramsey Show chat, and the people in it, and whatever else I want to talk about, including the market report. Down today, and why. What are they worried about today? I don't know. It said something earlier about, oh, because inflation was up 2.4% or so. And so maybe Fed didn't lower the interest rate enough, perhaps. Catching up on the chat. Sorry about that. You can type anything you want in the chat, MJ. Google Finance is what we're looking at now, and it is the market report, as I said. And the least down, the NASDAQ, imagine that. And NASDAQ been kicking S&P butt lately. Let's see what the most followed single stocks did today. 0.22 down for the Apple. Not all down, 0.14% up for the Apple, excuse me. I mean the Alphabet, which owns Google, and the YouTube. Microsoft down 0.39%, up 0.8% though is the Amazon. Meta down 1.13%, and Tesla 0.95%. The Nvidia though up 1.63%. Also AMD was up because they announced or I thought they were down 4. They announced some, they were up for a little while today. They announced a new AI chip to compete with NVIDIA. Anything else? Nope. Who is anybody? Let's see. Upcoming earnings reports tomorrow. JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, and the Verizon. If you like Verizon Towers, but you don't want to pay Verizon costs, you can get Visible, which is in the line of Mint Mobile, but Mint Mobile uses T-Mobile. Let's see what the rest of the planet did. Everything down in Europe, everything up in Asia, and the currencies, the US dollar up on the euro, Japanese yen up on the US dollar, US dollar up above the British pound, love. US dollar up against the Canadian dollar, but the Australian dollar might up against the US dollar. Australia was asked, should we be down to the US dollar? And Australians said, no, we should not be. See what's in the news, turn off ads. CNN Business, TD Bank, excuse me, hit with record $3 billion fine over drug cartel money laundering. And so if you're a bank, you should not do that, probably. 8 all. I put out a call for show and tell. Well, didn't get anything this week, but that's okay. I have some things. Let's see. This is some things that I found, and some of them going to be selling, some throwing away. I think most of it's stuff I'm going to be selling that I'm going to show you. And that is, we have 2 sealed, never opened Batman figures from the 1989 Batman movie. You can see that's that movie's logo right there with the gold around it. And so we'll be selling those once I get back to the Columbus. Don't have those listed yet. Need to find a nice box to ship those in. But I will be putting those on. What else did I find? Oh, this is, my son did this when he was probably like between 5 and 6, maybe even. Didn't know how to spell force yet, but that's cute. What else do I have? Speaking of Star Wars, I have a DVD collector set. There was a Black Friday item. It was a Walmart exclusive, and it has not only the original theatrical I don't need this anymore. Probably yelling. Sorry. The theatrical version of it. So you get Han shooting first in A New Hope. But also actually the original theatrical version did not have it saying episode 4. It just said Star Wars. And it was not called A New Hope back then. That wasn't changed until we saw episode 5 in front of Empire Strikes Back. But this includes the original theatrical version, the remastered version, and also a comic. I think it's a Marvel comic as well of each of the films. And so I do have those listed. I can't remember what I put those up there for. What else do we have? Oh, I found this too. This is from the Ramsey Baby Steps community on Facebook. Somebody posted this, and this, I can't remember if they said they got this from FPU or something, but somebody had asked before about the percentages, and generally I wouldn't say even bother trying to do percentages to this, because people's needs and wants are going to be different in some of these instances. But it says, of course, the 10% giving, that's always there. If you're a Christian, you believe in tithing, and so that comes off the top before anything else. Other than that, it's not in order, because you wouldn't do saving after that. You wouldn't do saving unless you're... So this again is, I don't know. So maybe this is not Ramsey stuff. I don't know. Because you wouldn't do saving unless, extra saving other than the emergency fund and sinking funds, unless your house was paid off. So I don't know exactly how this fits in, but let's check the rest of it anyway. 25% for housing, whether you're renting or mortgaging. Utilities 5 to 10%, 10 to 15% for food, 10% for transportation, 10 to 25 for insurance, 5 to 10 for personal spending, 5 to 10 for health, 5 to 10 for recreation, and 5 to 10% for miscellaneous as well. And so that seems to me like that's going to be over 100 if you do all those things, even at the lowest. I think I'll say 10, 20, 45, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay, no, it's so if you can do the lowest on everything, you can do it all. But again, sorry, I didn't look at it enough ahead of time. Whether I probably would have left out of it. What up, Anon? Yes, show number 400 and the last one from the state of Arkansas. What else do we have? Oh, this is fun. This is a, let's see, can I move it? Well, that's all right. You guys get the point. It is the DVD Grease, still sealed inside there, but it was also in a collector's jacket with the embroidered Grease logo on it. And so I do have that on the, and on the back of it says T-Birds, just like the jacket did. There you go. That's what I was looking for, that one. And so that's fun. And after, how old am I? 56. So probably, since I was probably about 10 years old, or a little bit earlier than that, maybe 8 to 10 years old, I got this sleeping bag. And it has seen some rough days. It has warmed both of my children. That looks like Wally right there. Look at that. What is that? Interesting. I don't know what that is off the top of my head. Oh, that's supposed to be the Death Star. Death Star right there, I think. Okay. And that does not look like Wally. I meant Eve from Wally. But that's the Death Star. It's just a bad angle of it. But I don't know if you can see like the teeth on it, on the sleeping bag. It started falling off and stuff, and the down inside it got like pushed all over in clumps and stuff like that. And I haven't done anything, used it. It's been in my closet for 2 years while I've been here in Arkansas, so I haven't done anything with it. And so for a moment I thought, well, I could cut like this part out, like the center part of it out, or something and like frame it or something like that. But then I thought, there's probably no need to do that. My son already has a Star Wars movie poster, so probably no need to do that. Alrighty, so but I did, so that's in the bin if anybody wants it. Did not leave that outside the bin in case any of my neighbors would want that one. Alrighty, 10% minimums. Tithing is by definition means a tenth, and that it says that in the Bible. So Christians do believe that and is 10%. Now, just like people half but the Ramsey plan, they're Ramsey-ish, they could also be Christian-ish, I guess, and only do 5%. So I don't know though. Favorite Star Wars film? I mean, I saw the original one in a theater when I was 8 years old. So, wait a minute. Born in 68, it came out in 70. I didn't see it until 78 because it didn't come to my small town and my parents weren't the type that would drive 40 minutes to go see a movie. So, obviously, I had heard about it and seen commercials and stuff like that. So let's see, I would have seen it in, when did I say 78? Born in 68. So 10, I was 10 years old when I saw that one. And so that one, I mean, it was awesome because it changed movie making even. It changed like the entirety of movie making. And so probably that first one, if I had to pick another one other than A New Hope, that first one, which again wasn't called A New Hope when the crawl came up the very first time, it did not say Episode 4 A New Hope. It just said Star Wars and then A Dark Time for the Galaxy or whatever. And on the crawl after that. Thanks, Jack. Star Wars, and my favorite one. Not going to be any of the prequels. Episode 7, Force Awakens, has a big place in my heart and my mind because we weren't going to get that one. George Lucas decided he didn't want to make it anymore, and if he didn't sell it to the mouse, we wouldn't have got any more. So it's very lucky that we even got other Star Wars, and that's not even including all the great Disney shows. I mean, some of them maybe you might not like, some of them did not do that well as far as ratings and such. But you know, we wouldn't have any Baby Yoda, we wouldn't have any Mandalorian, and so probably I would put it Episode 4 and Episode 7 in that order for top 2. Let it go. Yes, I let it go. I put it in the bin, Anon. Yeah, tie. The definition of tie, that's a tenth. Was that in black and white, 1978? Very nice, Anon. You're no spring chicken either, Anon. Are you? No. The answer is no. It was not in black and white. It was in color. Let's see. One of the fun facts about that is the technology to film it did not exist. So George Lucas that's when he started THX. Oh no, THX is the sound system that he developed for that movie. And what is it? Oh man, Industrial Light and Magic, IL&M, which has done all the big movies and still does special effects for movies today. He started that company so that they could develop the technology to film the movie. Favorite character? Probably Luke. I mean, they're all great though. All of them. Luke, Han, Leia, Chewie, of course. Even the droids. The shiny guy always worries, in case you guys did not know that. You were behaving for once. You know darn well there was color TV in 1978. Reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey, and we sort by new, and we go to the bottom. Well, not the actual bottom, because I did this one on Tuesday's after show, and so we start from there. And we go from the bottom because Reddit only has 1,000 questions, and I do run out of questions sometimes, so I do want to make sure I get all of them. Guichu, maybe. Sign from the universe. Let's see. Decided I was tired of living paycheck to paycheck this past summer, and I've had enough. Spent the summer applying for better jobs, interviewing. Got an offer at $90,000 per year, and started my new job last month. Relocated to an area with lower standard of living / rent. It doesn't necessarily have to be a lower standard of living. It's a lower cost of living. It doesn't necessarily have to be a lower standard. Started this month budgeting and decided my next paycheck will go towards baby step 1. That is a good place to start. Craziest thing happened. I was watching more Ramsey videos on the baby steps this evening when my old landlord sent me my old security deposit from my previous apartment. Exactly $1,000. How about that? That probably is a sign from the universe. I then immediately transferred it to my savings account and completed baby step 1. I forgot all about, I guess, my old security deposit. So now I've got a head start on baby step 2, beginning with my $900. Okay, great. Excellent. That is a sign from the universe. That's fabulous. Congratulations. So you can put baby step 2. Change the flare to baby step 2 now. I guess the question's about baby step 1, or the comment. Boom, 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 boom. Sid, Wicked Smat, I'm gonna get an A. Obv. Minnie, what up? Thanks for dropping by. Much appreciated. 420 Edible Queen. Alrighty. Starting 8. Like they say in Canada, right, Minnie? I'm just starting the journey for, I think, the 3rd time. Alright. That's too many times to be starting it. Twice is too many times to be starting it. I mean, I guess it's better than not ever going back to it. I didn't know about Dave's program back when I was doing the first time. Just did what my great uncle preached, that no one in the family got it. So yeah, you didn't even have to have Ramsey. You could have just listened to your great uncle. Sounds like a wise man. Oh, but how's that song go? Something on a wise man. That no one in the family seemed to pay attention to. Yep, they often don't pay attention to good advice. I got derailed when life happened. Life happening is so many people's excuses for, I wanted something right now that I couldn't afford. I wanted it now. That's not life happening. That's you happening. Let's see, and I end up with a complete mental breakdown. That's not fun either. And didn't work for a few years. I started again shortly after I got married, and my husband was completely on board. Fabulous. Or at least that's what he said. Over the years, I could never get baby step 2 even partly finished. Looking back, it's easy to see why. Things like I bought a fancy iPhone 3 since on the iPhone 3. Wow, that's been a minute. I could use on there. I could use the apps that made my job easier, and my phone was on its last legs, and blah 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 blah. Hashtag justification station. Less than 48 hours later, my husband just had to have one. Yeah, so that's how it happens. I'm not gonna look at the rest of that. It's probably the rest of that stuff. I stick to it this time. 30% pay cut office job. Get another job then. That makes more money. There's no body to this. It's just the title. This is an ad right there, meant to look like that. So you read it. They're trying to. It's pretty sneaky, sis. That's from a oh, what is it? Connect 4 commercial where the sister put the thing in and he said, I got you, Connect 4. And he said, what, where? And she said, there, diagonally. And he said, pretty sneaky, sis. And I'll never forget it. Glass Lab, 2694, car payment hacks. Okay. Always worried about the hacks. I mean, if they're coming from, George used to do fast food hacks and stuff like that. So that's fine. But a lot of times you get your hack people coming from the TikTok and such. But let's see what it is. Anyone have, oh, you're asking for it. Anyone have some good car payment hacks for paying down your car loan? Yeah, do not spend money on anything else and pay the car off instead. Weekly payments, bi-weekly payments. Yeah, if you pay it, you can make payments on it every day if they don't charge you extra for that. If that keeps you from spending the money on something else, yeah. What would Dave do? Dave would pay it off as fast as you can. You can get another job and pay however you can get money, sell stuff. Work more, spend less. Boom, 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 boom. All about the bricks still, but not saying what it was about, what the content of it is. MJ, if you're going to be all about something, you have to be able to tell people what it is. Because you just saying, go look at the video. That's as bad as somebody saying, do your own research. Does it count as 15% of income towards my retirement? What? Oh, the pension, is that? Oh, no. Okay. Let's see. My employer, that's from Big Pa. My employer puts an equivalent of 6% of my salary in a retirement account without me putting anything into an account. Great. Furthermore, my employer matches 100% of what I put in a retirement account, up to 5% of my salary. Okay, I got excited for a minute there, but all right. That's great, okay? Right now, I only put in 5% of my salary to get the full employer match. Does this technically meet the 15% of my salary into a retirement account that Dave Ramsey recommends? That would be a nay, as our pals from Australia would say, nay. You need to have 15% skin in the game, according to Mr. Ramsey. You need to put that in. All this other extra is great, but that's just gravy in the biscuit, on the biscuit. And it's supposed to, what that's supposed to do is, say you lose this job and you don't get all this wonderful extra anymore. You're already used to putting in the 15%. So, or guess what? Best case scenario, you stay there forever, you get lots of raises, and you keep getting that extra all the time, then you will be fabulous in retirement. Dave wants you to put 15% in there anyway. And so don't try to game the system and try to use that money for something else. Use it for retirement. Obviously, you shouldn't be doing retirement at all unless you're in baby step 4. Any manufacturer, 1279. How aggressive are we being about debt? Normally, if you got to ask, probably not, and you know you're not. Oh, he did type it in there? Oh, yeah. If you type in the wrong word or group of words or something like that, that'll be, and I've entered in some words as well that, for my channel specifically, that are going to be blocked. So, don't know. That's right. Steve can't see it because Steve blocked Iced Tea. But Sid can see it. And the other people can see it because they didn't block Iced Tea. Because of troll. How aggressive are we being about debt? Let's see. My husband and I have $14K in a personal loan we use for medical expenses. Interest rate is 10%. We have been paying it down with my paychecks and living off his income. Great. So putting $2K every 2 weeks towards the debt. Fabulous. No other debt aside from mortgage. My question is, how aggressive is everyone being? Doesn't matter how everyone else is being. It matters what you're doing. And I would say living off of one income is good. If you can add some of his income to that, do that as well. It doesn't matter how everyone else is being aggressive. Let's see, we have approximately 4K in our bank account, and that's a no as well. You only need to have enough in your bank account to get to the next paycheck. If you don't need it to get to the next paycheck, that goes to debt as well. The 2K in cash should only be 1K. So that's another 1,000 that can go to that debt. So you're not being aggressive enough. So you don't worry about how everybody else is doing unless you are asking so that somebody says, well, the way you're doing it's okay, baby. It's okay, honey. Bless your heart. Should we run our bank account down a bit more to pay off debt faster? Yes. You know what you could do? I got a great idea, and this has worked for many people. You could follow the baby steps as written, would be my advice. Let's see. We were debt-free prior to these health issues, both working, making about $75,000 a year each. How low is too low for our account? You only need enough to get to the next paycheck and your $1,000 emergency fund while you have other debt. As soon as you don't have the other debt, then you can run up your savings to the full emergency fund amount. So you also get this too, like if people are in that situation and they're debt free and stuff like that, and then they do take out a loan, they think they're an exception. They don't say, well, I'm not really, technically I'm in step 2, but not really. No, you're technically back in step 2 the second you take out debt. So that's how you treat it, and you bloody well pay it off. Initial reindeer, 1792. Lost my job during step 2. That is not good. Get another job. Looking for advice. I'm 28 and just got let go from a sales job. I had been with the company for 6 years plus an internship. 3 of those years were as an engineer. Okay, engineers you would think could get another job quickly. I wasn't doing great at sales, but expected I would work as an engineer. Engineer might be better than sales. But I would be able to transition back to engineering. Transition to engineering at a different company. Currently have approximately $52,000 in debt for medical, 9 credit card, 17 student loans, and 20K on a car. I have 1K emergency fund. That is correct. 1,400 in checking. Maybe you don't need that much in checking. Maybe as rent coming up, and that's going to be some of the next rent. Maybe I don't know, but you wouldn't have a $1,400 buffer on top of the emergency fund. That's not how it works. Your buffer is enough to get you to the next paycheck while also paying all your expenses during that time. 4715 investment account. If that's retirement, you don't touch that. I was planning on pulling out the investment account funds this week to pay off the credit. If it's a brokerage account, yeah, you can do that. As well as sell some stuff. Fabulous. About $800. Great. Pause my 401k contributions. Yep. Until I have the credit card paid off. Yep. With that, I could have been credit card debt free by next month. My question is, what do... Whoops, that one. There we go. What to do now? I have 7 weeks severance plus PTO. You get another job immediately. Don't even take time to write this. You get another job immediately and then problem solved. I really want to pay off the credit card as soon as I can. I wouldn't take out any money. And I wouldn't pay. I would pay minimums until you get another job. Looking to sell the car to eliminate that. Yep, do that. Absolutely. But yeah, your main thing is you need a job. Let's see what's going on in the chat. No paying yourself first, Minnie. Not on the Ramsey plan. Life is too short to have money problems, as Steve has said. That is correct, sir. Is big because that is the biggest reason that US is the best. Okay, great. Oh, a trade currency. Yeah, that doesn't really matter. I mean, you know what a group of 5 or so countries or whatever it is get together and want to do something, and you know they're emerging markets. You know, I don't think it's that big a thing. If you're talking about investing in it, that's a no. You don't want to be an early adopter on any investment. That's not how the advice works. Yep, unless you work in international trade, banking, or regulations, neither of us have any influence on what happens, so it's not worth worrying about something we can't change. That much is certain. Yep, Jack agrees. Focus on what you can control. Right. And that's everybody with the election. Oh, it means so much. It means so much. Not really. No matter what you believe, one is just going to be just a tiny bit better than the other one, no matter what you believe. And so they're both going to run up debt. They're both going to not do almost everything they're promising and talking about now because of a little thing called Congress. President has limited power to just say we're going to do that. And even when they say, I'm gonna fix healthcare by taking over 1/7 of the U.S. economy, and we'll just expand government to take over that, and so that way it'll be less expensive. Didn't happen. More expensive. Vastly more expensive since then. Let's see. Should I get a second job or withdraw from 401k? You do not withdraw from 401k except to avoid foreclosure or bankruptcy. So that's a no. You don't take it out of any retirement account because of the penalties. You have to pay taxes on gains as well, but there's going to be penalties if you're not retirement age, and 23 man is not retirement age. So all the numbers here don't matter. Doesn't matter how much debt. Doesn't matter how much is in the 401k. That's a nay. And you do not, as long as you're paying off debt, you do not contribute to that 401k. Background. Yeah. 1143. Spending plans. Does anyone have good info about on a spending plan? Yeah. You do your necessary expenses and you pay the minimums on debt and you put every other cent into the lowest debt if you have debt. 457, 401k, 403b, Roth. That's so many retirement accounts. Our qualified plans are pretty stock heavy. Okay. You could see if they can sell the stocks and do, if you're talking about stocks inside of mutual funds, that's fine. But if it's single stocks, you could sell all those. That would be the advice. Keep it in the retirement account, though, but just buy mutual funds with it. Our non-qualified are very secure. Maybe not stock heavy enough, okay? We plan on retiring around age 52. We can access our 457 and Roth principal pre-59.5, but should we? It depends. It depends on if you doing that pre-59.5 is not going to have you having enough money like from 60 on. If that's going to cause you to not have enough money, then you can't do that. Or you have to have additional savings, like a gap account, a bridge account for so you can retire early if that's what you want to do. Conventional wisdom is to spend down cash and do Roth rollovers, right? Yeah, if it makes sense. If it makes sense. If you're talking about not leaving it in much longer, then there's no need to roll it over. If you're not going to leave it in for X number of years to get the benefit of the no tax on the growth, then don't do that. Brian Adams cuts like a knife, but that's dollar bills, and that is better. Thanks, Brian. Much appreciated, sir. Where were we? We've used Empower, Embolden, but nothing really covers the 457 and its liquidity. All of our advisors tell us how to save and invest, but nobody really talks about how to spend an allocation of qualified versus non-qualified. Yeah, you're gonna have to get a different kind of tax advisor than one that is in the Empower and Bolden, apparently. So, yeah, maybe talk to a Ramsey Smart Vista Pro for that. Because I don't know all the little ins and outs of all of that as well. I mean, you're talking about the spend and allocation, about taking it out of retirement accounts, not like basically with the spending plan. I thought I was talking about is the spending of extra money that you had, and that would be whether to invest it or save it or spend a lot of it. And but I think they're talking about just strictly out of the accounts, and if you can access it without penalty, go ahead. It just depends. Doesn't say how old they are either. So, and that's important. And what is, oh, retiring about age 52, but it doesn't say how old they are right now. So let me catch back up on the chat. I did notice the super chat. Super chat. Let's see. Got on TV in the bloody UK. Says, I don't care who wins the election. I will continue to be rich regardless. That's right. He turned out to be a multimillionaire. Yep. Probably going to keep the same international fund regardless of a trade currency. Yeah. Yeah, my international fund is beating the S&P index even. So, let's see. Those payday lenders are evil. Freeze your credit in the UK. Yeah, I don't know if that could happen. I wouldn't downplay, but this, MJ says, I don't know, I wouldn't downplay, but this is a big deal, stretching 11 countries and 24 more on the way. I'm just saying, please go do research again. Nobody's going to do that, MJ. You have to be able to explain it people to get people excited about it. So, I mean, it's just saying it's a new currency. Anybody can make up a new currency. See all the freaking different kind of virtual currencies right now. And you could, there's hundreds of them. Not completely unimportant, right? Just saying that expending the energy to worry won't help you, right? Because I can't influence or change anything about it, right? And neither can MJ. Yeah. Inverma 45 paying off $80,000 in credit card debt. 18 watching. Thank you so much, everybody. Much appreciated. If you could, please, if you don't mind, you do not have to smash the like button, but if you could just lightly graze upon it with your finger or your mouse, much appreciated on the like button. Also subscribe, that way you won't miss me singing or anything like that. Again, no streams this weekend, and we'll be moving, but there should definitely be a Tuesday after show, and there might even be a Monday chat replacement stream at 5:25 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday when the YouTube video is over. Paying off $80,000 credit card debt. My wife and I have paid off 15, okay, of 80 credit card debt. Yep, still got something to go. 65 more to go. Little by little, we are getting there. We have not used credit cards in over a year. Fabulous. And we have some cash in the bank also. Should have the $1,000 only. Everybody is doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong, people. Let's see. Chevy Truck Month Lover. Alrighty. A little bit too much into trucks, if you ask me, but that's right. Help to portion 1/4 portion. That's from Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. 375 to 400 a month between savings and retirement. You don't have extra savings unless you're doing a sinking fund for something specific. You do not have that unless your house is paid off. As of right now, I'm able to save $375 to $400 monthly from my paycheck, looking to split between savings and retirement. I'm 25, still a baby, 2 kids and a wife that's stay-at-home mom. Babies having babies. For right now, until the kids go to school, a paid-for house. Great. Okay. And recently I have a fully funded emergency fund, but no retirement. Okay, that's great. Long as you're on step 4. Do the 15%. That's you're on step 7 if you don't have any other debt. I mean, you can start. If the kids are going to be young, I'm hoping, unless you guys had them when you were 16, the kids are going to be really young, so you can just start putting a little way at a time on there, but with no house payment and no other debt. You can put all of that into retirement because that's step 7. So you can even go over the 15%. In an ideal world, I would love to put it all into a Roth IRA and max it out, but I can't afford to max it out. And I'm not sure. Well, the Roth IRA is only $7,000 a month. A year. Excuse me, $7,000 a year. 400. Yeah, so that's not even. So you can max out the Roth. Maybe he thinks a Roth 401k? That's what he's talking about? I don't know. I'm not sure I like the idea of not saving anything after funding the emergency fund. So I would love opinions on how I should move forward. Thanks. You can invest it whatever way you want. In a Roth account would be the best way because that way you get especially with 40 plus freaking years left in the market, you do want to get that tax-free growth. And so definitely Roth IRA and a Roth 401k if you have that option at work. But yeah, all of that can go. And you can do over 15% if the house is paid off and you have no other debt. Absolutely. Boom, boom, boom. International fund outperformed the S&P from 2009 to 2022. Yep, surprising. Lately, it hadn't been like that before that. How does one even get 80K in credit cards? It can happen. You don't have to make that much. T Lindy 20 finally taking hold of my financial future. Hopefully. No, do or do not. There is no hope. No, there's hope. There's hope, but you got to do it instead of try it. Again, back to Star Wars. No. Do or do not. There is no try. Feel like I'm a little late to the game when I start reading other investment subreddits. Well, don't read other investment subreddits because the problem is you get the financial bros in there and they're all like with puts and holds and options and day trading and all that stuff. Doesn't matter that only a very small percentage of them actually make any money, but so don't do that. Growing up and in school, nobody discussed retirement or investing. That's correct. It probably, maybe now, 40+% of American high schools do have Ramsey's high school curriculum in there, and that is called Foundations in Finance. Needs to be in 100% of them, obviously. Let's see. My parents forced me to contribute to my workplace 401k. Parents had to force you when you graduated college, so that's all I got. I started that when I was 23. A little background, I'm 27 now. Oh, so old. Live in the U.S. and my finances stand as checking, $5,000, savings, $3,000, high yield savings account, $12,050, emergency fund. All right. Well, you shouldn't have extra savings as long as you want. Maybe if you want to save for a house, you should do that instead. Maybe that's what the high yield savings account is. You don't need a $5,000 buffer in your checking account. $1,200 Roth 401k. That's all. Oh, $1,200 there. Roth 401k, $96.50. Okay. I recently changed my contribution limit to 3% towards my Roth 401k so I can get the full match from my employer. If you don't have any debt and since you have the full emergency fund, you should be doing 15%. Oh, debt. No. So there's no investing. Nope. You back down that to 3. To 0% from the 3. So you're not doing any while you pay off your dumb debt. $19K, $490 a month. Yeah, you're doing it wrong. Granted, nobody ever told you how to do it. You found the Ramsey subreddit at somehow. And so what you do is you read more of his advice, read some books, watch the Ramsey show on the YouTube and the Ramsey Network app, and you learn it that way. But this is, you're not doing well. I mean, you're doing well than some people. Some people don't have any of this progress as far as the assets, and they have all the debt too on top of that. But let's say student loans, 25K, 6 separate accounts, so it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is if you're taking all of it, yeah, you do have to learn about it. And so, but you would not be having extra savings or investing while you still have non-mortgage debt. So that would be the correct way to do it. The way you're doing it, you're doing it wrong. Get the approvals when your debt is low. That's how you do it as well. Or take every predatory intro offer that comes in the mail. Absolutely. Lie on the application. A lot of stores pressure you to sign up for a card at checkout. I feel like for Sid, those checks aren't thorough. It's possible they're not. And a lot of those stores that do that, the employee has to do that. And because the stores get a lot of money from that. And some stores make more money from that than they do selling their items. Star Wars, that's right, you got the ray gun there, so cool. Card Wars, yep. Just see them as businesses, not a company I want to do business with, but not really evil. No, they're just trying to make money, but they do it by putting people in bad situations. MJ says we have fiat currency, meaning it has value based on confidence. A replacement will cause record high inflation as well. That won't be, if record inflation is not good. What can we do about it? Nothing. What can we do about it? If you look at almost everyone's retirement portfolio, they will have investments in banks and credit card companies. Correct. I'm sure it's in mine as well. I couldn't tell you right offhand, but I'm sure somewhere in there's some kind of financial institution that does get interest and fees from people for sure. Work bonus opinion, artistic koala 174. Any extra money should be put to whatever baby step you are on currently. Evening. Hi guys. I'm wondering what my best option here is. I'm expecting my annual bonus soon. I can defer it to my 401k, and my bonus would be equal to 10% of my salary. I could take it as cash bonus, but it would only be 6% paid out. Okay, well, you're also looking at, you can't really compare those because going into your 401k, you would not pay taxes on that anyway. So that could be the reason for that. But, 4% of 10 shouldn't be all the taxes. So there's something else going on there as well. And it would be tax as income, right? If you took cash, yep. I could then use the money for my Roth and get tax-free gains. You could, but by losing out in the first place, it might not be worth it. You can do the math and find out. Both instances, the money would be invested for around 25 years. What makes more sense? Eventually the Roth gains would catch up and take care of the taxes you had to pay to get the cash bonus. You can also look to see if your employer offers a Roth 401k, because a lot of them have it and people just don't realize it. Take a larger sum now or lesser sum, but tax-free growth. Yeah, for 25 years, I would definitely, it'll catch up. In 25 years, it'll catch up and wipe out the tax that you will pay now. And that's also the reason why you want to pay tax now on the future contributions. So like if they do have a 401k there, you should no longer contribute to the Roth 401k. To the regular 401k, traditional 401k. You should just put it in the Roth 401k as well. And you can have a Roth IRA too on top of that. But yeah, over 25 years, yes, the Roth savings will wipe out that taxes that you're paying now. So that's why it's better to do that. Boom, boom, boom. We'll see that background again. What background? Pay the taxes now. Oh, that's right. This background here? No, you won't. But fortunately, YouTube reruns last forever. Eventually they might get tired of it and say, okay, we're deleting everybody's videos from 20 or plus years ago. They might do that. Yep, so it says pay the taxes now. Also, ask for a Roth 401k option. That's right. Closed mouths do not get fed. That's right as well. But yeah. Oh yeah, and it looks worse today. I didn't bother cleaning off the counter with my moving preparation stuff happening up there. Immediate place 7820. What do you think about getting a degree out of interest? Hey, what do you think Dave would say about my situation? I have a BA in history and worked my way up to senior data analyst at a major retailer. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're talking about saving money and investing it and just paying off from the interest owed, that's a no. You pay that off as soon as possible. Otherwise, you're doing it wrong. You're trying to scheme and scam. You're trying to be a financial bro here, but that's not the way we do it. Let's see, then switch up and join the Army as a 68X. Don't know what that means. Oh, behavioral health specialist. Great. Love the Army, but plan to return to data work after my service. Okay. I'm considering using tuition assistance to get a master's degree. Great. But I'm not sure what to choose. Part of me thinks I should go for a practical degree like MBA or master's in communication during my contract. Another part of me wants to study something I enjoy and then use the GI Bill later for a technical degree, applied stats, computer science. Problem is, after looking at different programs, a lot of them seem overpriced. And that's not justification for you doing what I think you're trying to do. I don't know what unless you're not talking about bank interest on the loan, talking about your personal interest in it, maybe. Let's see. A lot of them seem like overpriced repackaged degrees that don't really interest me. And I feel like, for me, I could teach myself most of the content, and true value would be getting past HR filters. Okay. Okay, so it wasn't what I thought. I guess it was just what he's interested in. Get a degree you're interested in, especially if it's free. And then later, you can do something you want on your own. So, or vice versa. You can do it vice versa. If you want to go ahead and do the free one now, if you're not limited, it's up to you. I don't think you are limited on degree by the GI Bill. I think they pay for that regardless. So can do either one. You do not pull from 401k except to avoid foreclosure or bankruptcy. We already covered this, squirrel. Okay, 3844. Granted, this person typed this 2 days ago before I said that, but actually I've said it thousands of times on here probably so far. Freezing credit is the same in the UK as here, according to Sid, who has done some research. Thank you, Sid. She did her own resource. So one woman who refused to leave as her husband had built their dream house. You staying there does not keep the house safe. So what you can do is bounce baby out the door, and then when the storms are gone, then you go back and see if it's there or not. I don't need it to be torn down around me. Boom. I used to answer what a financial bro is. Yep. And anyone trying to scheme and scam, Ice-T. Scheming and scamming, trying to do the day trading, trying to do the puts and options and all that dumb bull crap that makes most people go broke. Yeah, Wall Street bets people. Yeah, the meme stocks as well. That worked out well for a lot of people, didn't it? No, it didn't. Worked out great for the people that got in early and they pushed it up, and then people kept buying it, and those people did not make any money. They lost money. Yeah, you can always unfreeze it if you need a mortgage for a house, right? And if if they do manual underwriting, or like if definitely if it's frozen, you can just tell people that's frozen because I don't do debt. I don't do debt anymore, and so I didn't want to take the chance of anybody trying to take out debt in my name, so I froze it and asked them to manually approve you, which apartments have done for me. I wish at the moment I'm some years off, but who knows? Some years off. Pulling for 401k. Let's see if this is a worthy situation. Spoiler alert, if it's not foreclosure or bankruptcy, it's not going to be an exception. Wife and I will be selling our home early next year. Due to a legal situation, doesn't matter. We were forced to unless that legal situation is foreclosure or bankruptcy, to rack up the credit. Forced to. The force will be with you, always. Is it, it's a Star Wars 400th episode. Is it worth pulling or taking a loan out from my 401k in order to have a lower DTI? No. When applying for a mortgage for our next home. Then once our current house sells, replenish the 401k, or would it make more sense to just pay off the debt when we sell our home? You pay off the debt before you sell your home, even. You pay off your debt. You don't wait until you sell off the home. But if you're going to sell it like very soon, then I guess you could wait till then if it's going to be within the next month or two. Otherwise, you're on baby step 2 and you put every extra cent into paying off that debt. So, but the pulling from the retirement is a nay. Mr. Flocka, retirees who reached baby step 7. How do you spend your time now that you made it? Good question. I bet a lot of them are working and aren't trying to retire early, because that does seem pretty bored. Now, for me, I mean, I could retire because I would stay so busy with YouTube and other side hustles and stuff like that that I would not be bored. But like most people retire and then that's it. They don't do anything except sit and watch TV. Let's see, more specific, Christians who reach baby step 7. How old were you when you retired and how do you structure your days? Okay, haven't retired, so can't answer this question, but I don't know. But I would imagine most of them still working, unless they are like 65 or over. Anybody that retired early might still be working. Because that's the kind of behavior that would have them on baby step 7 already. Aslan's out. You are so welcome for the after show. I enjoy providing it. A lot of empty vehicles on the highway. All right. Yep. Yep. People wait till it's too late to get far enough. That's right. And then it's a Walking Dead situation. You see early in the Walking Dead, you saw the people trying to get out of Atlanta, and they the road into the city, hardly, not that many cars there, but just pack to pack cars just sitting there on the highway out. And oh, what's his name? Gosh, I can't remember his name. The lead character for so many years. Rick Grimes. Okay. Rick Grimes. And yeah, he was riding a horse towards the city. And that's when you saw all the cars on there. Also, fun fact, the actress that plays his daughter on there, when his daughter got older, that is the same actress that played the baby Rey, or the very young Rey, in a flashback in Force Awakens. Is it time to move out, even if I don't want to? Yes. If you're asking, I'm going to go ahead and say yes. 22, so yes. Mr. Ramsey would like adults, which that means 18. That means you are out and living on your own. I'm 22 and moderately successful on YouTube. What's that? What's that like? So I've built a pretty decent sized savings and investment account totaling around $350,000 and a yearly income of $180K. I would call that better than moderately successful. You can't live on $180K by yourself. I've been living with my parents since graduating high school in 2020, and it's never been an issue, okay? Now, I had planned to find an apartment earlier this year, but my dad was being relocated for work in August, so I decided to stay for those 6 months, okay? Well, with the relocation, they bought a pretty nice house with 5 bedrooms in a great neighborhood and encouraged me to move across states with them to check out a new area, which you can do that if you have a YouTube channel that's not specific to your area. We've now been living here for a month and I love it. Dogs are here. The house is beautiful. And there's a sort of mini apartment set up. I mean, again, Mr. Ramsey would like you to live on your own, especially you can afford it. Hopefully no debt. Oh my goodness gracious. It is a YouTuber, somebody that loves to talk. Look at that. My goodness. It takes one to know one. I get it. So I understand. What else? Our old house was cool. Cool, man. But I definitely wanted to move out of there. However, with this house, I like this one. It's very nice. Don't have any desire to leave. Upon having that thought, I sort of question, when would I want to leave then? Never? How many years would it be? Good question. Good thinking. This is overthinking happening in real time here. And the thought was brought back up when watching George Camel on a recent episode of the Iced Coffee Hour. George said, in your early to mid 20s, you should move out or at least have an exit strategy. Yep, as still being at home can severely stunt your growth. That much is certain. He mentions that this person's still living at home in their mid-20s, most likely doesn't have a girlfriend, isn't getting married, and just isn't getting that independence and maturity that moving out gives. And all that is 100% true. This definitely hits the nail on the head with me, as, not me, the poster, as especially in this completely new area, I have nothing really going for me in the dating scene or even building relationships for that matter. What about at the old place? Was it any different? With that being said, I don't necessarily see how moving out would change that. Right? If you're in the new area, because you don't have the option of the old area, unless you find an apartment in the old area and continue living there. If you have friends and so forth there, if you had a girlfriend there, you think maybe you would consider that already, but maybe you don't have one. Recently had the whole house to myself for a week while my parents and dogs were away, and it just kind of felt empty and boring. Yep, there wasn't really anything appealing about it to me. So at this point, I don't want to have an exit strategy, but I guess I'm wondering if it's still generally the right move to move out regardless and see where life takes you. Yes, be an adult. Be an adult. Because you do not want to live with them for the rest of your life, and then the first time that you live on your own is after they die. You do not want that to be when you have to learn these living on your own lessons. And so you do not want to have that happen. So, but yeah. Generally, if George says it, it's going to be the right advice. Fairly trustworthy, gentlemen. Jules, flip the bread when it doesn't fit in a double toaster. Okay. A lot of breads are coming out small now. Yeah, they've gotten a lot of that. A lot of boxes are way smaller than they would, or they have the recent regular box is now the family size box. That kind of thing. Boom, 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 boom. Hang on, gets the electronics from Argos. Jack trying to spend less than Argos, apparently. What time is it? Have I been going on and on and on? Let's see, 20. Let's do a couple more, since I won't be doing it this weekend. Paying off home mortgage question. Sports Newt, 1992. Newt is the young character in Aliens. She's the one that says they mostly come at night, mostly. And I did get that video finally. I need to add it into the into the streaming software so I can play that. Married, both 32 with 2 kids. We have $350,000 left on the mortgage. Our combined pay recently brings us to about 12.5K take home after taxes, retirement, yada yada. Don't yada 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 retirement. Minus the expenses and mortgage payment of $2,805. Doesn't matter how much percentage on a VA. 30-year, maybe it's too much house. But let's see, 350. Let's see, I can't do the math that quick on that to see what that mortgage, what is the mortgage payment? 2,805 and 12.5. Yeah, they're good. They're all right, probably. It's a little bit more than 25%, so probably it was too much house. But now that they're down to 350K, let's see. Yeah, so and they have 5,700 left over each month. So pay it off early then. We have a fund for closing costs set aside in case market falls to 4.6.25. Just pay the house off early. From what I've seen, is at a minimum a reasonable decrease in interest rate to refi. It depends on what the refi fees are. You got to work that out to how long that takes to be worth it. I want to make extra $3,000 payments towards the mortgage, and the home will be paid off before we turn 40. Yes, do that. Do that now, even before refinancing. My wife wants to make about $1,200 in extra payments and invest the rest. Okay, so if we have a difference of opinion now, even between you two, regardless of, even if that's two different things than the Ramsey advice is, then you guys have to work that out, and whatever you agree on supersedes the baby steps, supersedes the Ramsey advice. You guys have to do what you can agree on. Slash save in separate funds and sell in 3 to 5 years and get into something bigger, which, okay. And so my name is Paul, and that's between y'all. When you get married, you are the one that needs to figure that out and talk to your spouse instead of people on Reddit. I appreciate the content, but, and you know, I get it. You know, maybe you don't have any friends that you can talk to about it to get their gauge on it before you talk to the spouse about it, which can be a good idea to talk to somebody else about it before that. But, you know, I don't know that Reddit is definitely is necessarily the best place for that. But so neither one of them is the Ramsey way of doing it. So you both doing it wrong, but and you both want to do it differently wrong. And so you would decide on something to do. Anything that you can agree on is what you should do. And congratulations on baby step 7. Because, yeah, the general idea is that you do not constantly have a mortgage payment the way people constantly are paying for new iPhones and new cars. Where you'll always have a car payment, that kind of thing. You shouldn't always have a mortgage either. So I got a great idea on moving up in house. You pay off your current house and then you save for the difference. You're not constantly changing mortgages to move up in house. That is not the idea behind the baby steps, nor is it part of baby step 7 either. Because you're not on baby step 7. You're not. I just realized that. You're not on baby step 7 because the house isn't paid off, sir. You're doing it wrong. Even baby step 7ers or people that think they're on baby step 7ers do it wrong. And so they should be allowed to call and ask questions. Even though most people don't think so, because they're applying their higher income to the small amount of debt that they have. And that's not how that works. Because they probably have a higher percentage of their income in debt than you do. Every dollar app, anyone know of a comparable app that allows you to add manual transitions to something like paycheck planning? No, I don't want to create a budget item for my many expenses, but so want those expenses to come off my balance in paycheck planning. At the moment, the app doesn't allow this, but wondering if anyone knew of one that is not Quicken. That is not Quicken. I don't know. Quicken may own. Intuit may own paycheck planning. And so if they own that, it might be an in-house thing only, sir. Tasteful Male Side Boob has been in here before. How could you forget that name? Cheaper with eBay. Excellent. Anon's wound. Rebuke the pain from Anon's wound. Wound. Did I say womb? Wound. Take over the light bill or something and cook family dinner once a week. Oh yeah, help out. Absolutely. Split the difference and do 1,500 to each goal. 456 is about intention. 4, 5, and 6, not 450. 4, 5 steps. 4, 5, and 6 is about intentionality. That's correct. I don't understand what Top Falcon wants to do. It's paycheck planning, which might be an Intuit product as well, just like Quicken and QuickBooks are. And so he's trying to get another app that will link in with that. Oh, there was a Family Guy, and I missed it. Family Guy reference, and I missed it. Tasteful man, male side boob again. How to manage car lease versus debt. You pay it off. Smallest, largest. So back in June, I decided to lease a brand new BMW. Dumb. Thinking it would make me feel all sorts of amazing. Dumb. Turns out it didn't. That's why I was dumb. One of the many, many reasons. It did lead me to financial epiphany and everything, Ramsey, but it's also an expensive lesson. You turn that in right now then. Or you do the payoff and you sell it for as much as you can. I'm trying to figure out the best way to handle my situation. Car lease is $11.58 a month. 31 payments left, $36K that needs to be paid through June 2027. I've looked, and the option to buy the car now would cost me $75,000, but the car is probably only worth $60,000. That's again why this was dumb as crap to do, sir. Thanks, EV market. Yeah, hey, no, not the market. You got to look in the mirror for the cause of this problem, sir. Your fault. I also have 9K left of debt, all at 0%. Doesn't matter. Dumb. That runs at the end of 2026. I'm trying to decide if I should try and. You don't try and do something. You try to do something. Try and is not correct English. Try and figure out a loan to buy the car outright, trade it for a beater, and essentially pay off the beater and underwater together. Yeah, that's how you would do it. You would get a smaller loan to replace that lease. Yeah, and you buy it outright. Or if I should just, no, you shouldn't keep it. No, you should get out of it immediately. Robert G, thank you so much, sir. Congratulations on 400. Keep up the good work, sir. Thank you so much, Robert G. Much appreciated. That is amazingly awesome. Thanks so much. Brian Adams. Helps like a knife. Didn't cut like a knife, but helps like a knife when you need to cut something. And Robert G. sponsoring the Coach Steve Money channel at the moment. Thanks so much, guys. Much appreciated. Very humbled. Did I say it? Oh, I finished it. If you use your chest and I'm not looking at the rest of it. All right. Yeah, going a little bit longer today since I won't be doing the weekend stream. Nobody important. 6894. Did it take anyone else a really long time to get past baby step 1? No. Fortunately for my ex-wife and I, we had over $1,000 in the checking account at the time. And so the second I found out about it and explained it to her, and she said, yeah, that sounds really smart. Let's do that. And so we immediately had baby step 1 done. And immediately also had some extra money to put to the lowest debt as well. And so it did not. But let's see, Dave says baby step 1 shouldn't take any longer than 30 days because you should sell things, have a garage sale, right? And put the children on Craigslist. That's correct. Obviously, that last one is a joke, maybe. But I need to say 30 days is incredibly fast, is it not? No, it's not. That means you're not going into a restaurant. You're not buying. You're not spending one solitary cent on anything that's not 100% a necessity. And that's not, it's like when you say, oh, I need to eat out today, or I need a hamburger today. No. If you go get the meat at the store and make the hamburger at home. No eating out. So you are immediately cutting crap out of your budget so you can get that. And even if it's just a month, you cut out all, until you have your emergency fund, I would cut out all subscriptions. You don't need them for that month. You should be too busy working and figuring out how to get more money for your step 1 baby step. Step 1 emergency fund, excuse me. I'm selling what I can. Let's say I have multiple items on secondhand selling platforms. Great. But it takes a while for people to buy things. True. And to be honest. Don't say you're being honest. Just be honest. And that would have been fine without there. You don't have to put the and TBAH. You don't need to put that in there. You could just say to buy things and I'm running out of things to sell. Doesn't he know most people live paycheck to paycheck? Absolutely it does. So getting those extra few dollars here and there to get to 1,000 takes an awful lot of time. No, there's probably some stuff you can cut out that you're not cutting out. And so, but nobody knows that except you. If you're doing the best you can, then it's going to take you longer than it should take normal people. The regular people amount can find $1,000 somewhere in baby step 1. All right, like within the first 30 days, I mean. With budgeting like crazy and selling items up to about $100 a month. I've got 700 so far, but it's very possible. Might have to dip into that. Like I have a few times over the year. That's not something you do. You only dip into it if it's an emergency. See, and that again tells me hasn't changed. Hasn't changed what you're doing. You're still spending money on non-necessities. If you have to dip in an emergency fund for necessities, that means you aren't making enough money. You need to get another job. You need to cut the budget to the bone. Everything that's not 100% necessary to live, you cut out. And all that money goes to baby step 1. Let's see, this time it's going to take another, yeah, okay, well, you don't make enough money then. Get another job in addition to saving. They may be super low income and need the $50 baby step 1, $500 baby step 1. Yeah, if it's super low income, just save a $500. That's fine, because super low income, you shouldn't be having that much debt. You shouldn't be having that much anything, and shouldn't be having that many expenses to cut out with very low income either. And that will take you longer, sure. Brace Fan 17, anyone else having trouble with the app? I've been trying to listen to the show for the last 2 days and it either won't load or give me the option to listen all together. Anyone experiencing this? No, I haven't. I haven't been trying either though. Could just be a deal where you need to uninstall and reinstall the app. Could have gotten corrupted, as they say, something like that. Who knows? What does Dave insist that eggs cost $7? He's probably exaggerating a little bit. I can go into any grocery store, from Walmart to Target to wherever does it, and a dozen eggs are generally $3.50, give or take. They were higher during the early days of the pandy and into the pandy while the supply chain problems happened. Even organic eggs are only $5. Every interview, statements, or whatever, David says the eggs cost $7. That's literally not the case. Pathetic, political, lying hack. Okay, well, so if you think he's a pathetic, political, lying hack, why are you bothering to comment about it? Why are you watching the interviews, looking for something to hate? And that's not advised, even for dumb people that don't want to follow Dave's advice. So, you know, I don't look for people that I don't like and don't agree with. Anybody I thought was pathetic, political, lying hack, I would not watch them. I watch things that I like, and I comment on things that I like. I don't search out something specifically in order to say something bad about it. I don't. There's not enough. Life's not long enough, even if you're very young. Maynard doesn't sound like he was ever 10 years old. That's a name like Maynard. You're born and you're already 60 years old. Karma's a beach sometime. Saving versus investing. Hi all. Hi guys. I'm a relatively newly graduated 22-year-old engineer, and I am working to try to build a financial foundation. I currently live with my folks. Doing it wrong. So I am working to save as much money as I can and have some questions about the best way to set myself up well. Let's see. My goal My goal is to be able to afford a home, but the very high cost of living in my region is far beyond my income, even with a strong down payment. So I'm currently biding my time and trying to improve income while saving. What can I do to accelerate my goals and lay a foundation that will serve me well into the future? You can move if you live in a too high cost of living area. You might have to move. Or you got to make more money. You make more money or you move, or it just takes you a long time to save that down payment, and you won't be able to get that house when you move out, which should be soon. Mr. Ramsey does like you to move out when you are an adult. And so you're an engineer, being an adult, move out, and you should be renting for a year. You shouldn't like go straight from parents' house to your own house. Shouldn't do that. You want a house? Rent it. Rent a house for a year, and that way you can decide if you can afford the area, because it doesn't sound like you can afford the area from what you're describing, and you don't even know about cost because you still live with your parents. You have no idea what costs are, I'm assuming. You know, you would have either done a lot of research or asked your friends or something like that in order to find out what bills cost even, or find out what every expense that your parents have. You would have to be asking them about it. So you have no idea. So that's why Dave wants you to move out on your own, so you are prepared for life. And then you can make these decisions and not unnecessarily think you're going to get into a home and a high cost of living without that high cost of a living salary. You make $80K annually. If you got to make 120, 80 is not going to cut it in order to buy a house there anytime soon. So that's not going to happen. Don't go, that person is a hater. Hater's going to hate. Hate. Player's going to play. That's the T-swizzle there. Most time it's an income issue, or they overspending, or both. Yeah, I mean, that could be it too. I would think not, since if there's no paying rent here, I don't know. He or she could be kicking in. I don't know, for some stuff. Maybe they're helping around the house and paying something, but I don't know. I'm not going to click on the rest of it to read it. Yeah, could be any situation going on there. Another promo 22 hours ago. Fun Wishbone 5582. Question about the steps. I've got an answer for you, sir or madam. I'm currently in baby step 2, and I'll be debt free in a few months. Excellent. Driving an old truck that I have no payment on. Excellent. I understand the next step is 3, is saving 3 to 6 months of expense emergency fund. So that's a period right there. He did put a period right there, but that should be it. You know, maybe you say, I understand the next step 3 is saving 3 to 6 months of emergency fund, period. And that's exactly what I'm going to do, is all that needs to be there. All right. When and how do I upgrade my vehicle? Not before you have that full emergency fund, sir. New vehicle is not an emergency. Yeah. Can I spend emergency fund on a new vehicle if mine craps, if it completely dies? And you know, you don't like, just like because it needs an oil change, don't justify it to yourself. Like, well, I'll say, if I save the money on the oil change, I can just spend that towards a new car, and so that justifies it, a new truck, and then that justifies it. So that's a no on that. Do I start an additional savings account? You got to be realistic about it too. So a lot of people are intellectually dishonest about this kind of stuff, and are like, especially when it's a fine truck, it's just old, but it doesn't really have many problems or anything like that. But then they're like, oh, if it craps out, if it doesn't start working, and so go by the same thing that Dave goes by, of whether you should worry about a job layoff. It has to be at least 51% of that happening. Now, obviously, it's going to break one day, but you don't start a savings account now for moving up in truck for something that may last another 5 or 10 years. So you got to be intellectually honest with yourself on this stuff, because a lot of people do this, and that's the same thing, with just like they do with I need, just like the way they turn a leak in the bathroom, they turn that into, oh, I needed a remodel. False. You did not need a remodel. You just wanted one. And so wants are not part of baby steps 1, 2, and 3. You're doing it wrong. Let's see what that. Let's do one more. Ramsey Network app doesn't work in Australia. That's right. Apparently, the Ramsey team, when it comes to other countries, they said nay. Part of it supposedly is because they have, Financial Peace University is their class, and other countries don't like that because it's not an accredited educational university, and so they don't like that. And so I don't know how much that has to do with it, and how much is just their decision. No clue on that. Any way to get past this? You can try a VPN. Don't know if that'll work or not. So let's do another question then, since that was just that one. Popular bit 1226. Making no money. I'm frustrated because I can't increase my income. The more hours I work, the more I have to pay a babysitter. I only make $22.50 an hour, and I'm stuck paying $70 a day for a babysitter because my son keeps getting suspended from his daycare. If you're not a single parent, then you stay home instead of paying that, and then you try to find another way to make things better at home / make money from home, that kind of thing, or work when your spouse is home. Let's see. I'm getting a behavioral coach program and counseling, but it's not solving my problem yet. My son has severe ADHD, and he's a problem wherever I take him. Any ideas to help me? Again, you didn't say if you were single or not. If you were just trying to work to be a 2-income family, it's not worth it. $70 a day, and you're making, let's see, what is that? $22.50. That's still, what is that? Is that 22.50 times 8 hours? It's 160. It's like 170. And so $150 a day after taxes. I mean, that's half. So you're putting half to it. So it's up to you. If you can stay home and then make half of that money, and if you can average, $11.25 an hour or even $10 an hour, then you can stay home if that's an option. If you're a single mom, you wouldn't be able to do that, and you gotta, take it as it comes. You gotta do what you can. I don't know of any other things. There's no magic. To get further on the baby steps, or even to satisfy your issue here. There's not any magic button to fix it so that he will be fine wherever, or she, and he, the baby boy will be fine at the daycare. And you can work. There's no magic that will make that work. So you have to figure out what it is. Again, like I said, if you're a single mom, I have no idea. Friends or family watching him. His grandparents maybe watching him, at least temporarily, while you try to figure it out and work too at the same time. But that's all I got for you. Let's do a different one. Try to have a better ending. No primary 8367 paying off mortgage. If the mortgage is low enough, as in below 100K, is it smart to take out a personal loan for the difference to pay it off? Mortgage low enough, as in below 100K. Well, it's not free to take out a loan, so you're adding to the debt unless you're paying cash for the fees on the debt, on the personal loan. Obviously, the rate has to be lower than the mortgage rate to make sense. Right, and not just even 1% lower, probably not worth it. You got to wait till it's more than that. So, because it's got to make sense. There's a break-even point where you get back any fees that you have to take out the personal loan from via the saved interest. And so it does take a while for that saved interest amount to equal the amount that you're having to pay in closing costs for that personal loan. Oh, let's see. Jack says Dave is changing his life. Oh, to Ice-T. I can't see any of his stuff because I blocked him because he's a troll. Need to listen to his and George's book. I have on audio books. Yeah. That is a prison people must break free from. Yeah. So I don't believe any like situation that he's giving about his own debt or anything like that. I'm not buying it. Cause proven troll. Alrighty, so enough of that. And again, no answering your financial questions stream this weekend. Normally I do that on Saturdays and Sundays at 8:30 p.m. The weekend after this weekend, there should be, because that should be no problem. I'll be going crazy if I don't have internet by that time, but it should be having internet by that time. And so I'm anticipating, theoretically, they're supposed to deliver my cable modem on Monday morning. And so theoretically, I can even do even while still moving in, I can at least start a chat stream with no content for when the Ramsey show goes off of YouTube at approximately 5:25 p.m. Eastern Time. Once again, for my other financial content, you just go to youtube.com/coachstevemoney where you are right now watching this, and you go to the home page and you scroll down. You can check out my other interests as well on here, and the financial content, answering your financial questions with Ramsey Solutions Certified Coach Steve Money. And again, no stream of that. The Ramsey Show After Show, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so I should not be missing any one of those. So this coming Tuesday should be another After Show, and it will be episode 400 run. Thank you so much for celebrating the 400th episode with me. Very, very sorry I wasn't able to do like more fun stuff for it, but in bad timing in the middle of the move. Good timing because it's a good way to close out my chapter here in the Arkansas. And of course, the music playlist with 11 Ramsey adjacent songs, including the original Baby Steps song that I sang earlier, but that one does have more instruments in it than just the guitar, which is the version I did of it today. Monday would be a chat replacement stream. The next financial advice show will be on the Ramsey Show After Show on Tuesday. Yep, Sid explained it out after I did it anyway. Actually, I think she typed it first and I explained it anyway. That's bad. Again, on the way out, if you don't mind, please just graze lightly enough to turn that like button a different color, and that means you will have liked it. That helps muchly. All right, once again, I am Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. And if you've got money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment with me at calendly.com/coachstevemoney. I have blocked out the time for moving, so those will not be available. You can email me about any questions about financial coaching or anything else on my YouTube channel. coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Donations can go to paypal.me/coachstevemoney. Alternatively to CashApp at $CoachSteveMoney. A Walmart gift card to coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Alternatively as well. Upcoming streams again, no answering your financial questions streams this weekend, but those will be on Saturdays and Sundays, 8:30 p.m. until further notice, except for this coming weekend. And that would be the what? That would be the 12th and 13th of October. But the next weekend, it should be fine. Ramsey Show After Show should be no problem doing it this coming Tuesday and Thursday, 5:25 p.m. Eastern Time. And the Ramsey Show Chat Refugee streams Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays when the Ramsey Show video goes off of YouTube and is exclusively for that last hour, which is about 40 some minutes of video, to the Ramsey Network app. All right. Again, thanks so much for celebrating episode 400 with me. And I'm going to keep doing these because I love it so much and it is a great hobby. And so I'll be doing it in retirement as well. I'll be doing it till I'm forced to not stream anymore because I have dementia. And so that'll be sad, but know that I made it to the end if that does happen. Alrighty. Thanks so much for watching. Again, please like the video, subscribe if you haven't. Thank you to everybody that has already done that. And of course, make smart moving and smart financial decisions every day.